The freezer encounter. It was just another uneventful evening when I decided to visit the supermarket. The aisles were quiet, save for the occasional chatter of customers and the faint hum of refrigerators. My list was short: milk, eggs, and some snacks. Nothing out of the ordinary. Or so I thought. As I approached the freezer section, I noticed something peculiar. One of the freezer doors was slightly ajar, and a faint mist spilled out onto the floor. Normally, I wouldn't have thought twice about it, but there was a strange, almost glowing light emanating from inside. Intrigued and slightly concerned, I stepped closer. That's when I saw her. At first, I thought it was a mannequin. Her skin was an iridescent blue, shimmering like the surface of a calm lake under moonlight. Her eyes, large and almond-shaped, glowed softly with a silvery hue. She wore a sleek, metallic suit that clung to her slender frame, its texture unlike any fabric I'd ever seen. She was huddled in the corner of the freezer, shivering uncontrollably. "Hey, are you okay?" I blurted out, my voice echoing slightly in the cold chamber. Her head turned toward me, and for a moment, I froze. Her gaze was otherworldly, intense yet vulnerable. She opened her mouth to speak, but all that came out was a series of melodic, unrecognizable sounds. It wasn't human language, but the urgency in her tone was unmistakable. Without thinking, I stepped into the freezer. The cold hit me instantly, but I didn't care. "You need to get out of here. You'll freeze," I stammered, reaching out a hand. She hesitated, her glowing eyes studying me with what I could only interpret as a mix of fear and hope. Then, slowly, she extended her own hand. Her fingers were long and delicate, and when they touched mine, I felt a warmth that defied the freezing temperatures around us. It was as if her touch carried a life force, a stark contrast to the icy environment. I helped her to her feet, and together we stumbled out of the freezer. She swayed slightly, clearly weak. I grabbed a blanket from a nearby display and wrapped it around her. "You're safe now," I said softly, though I wasn't sure if she understood. Suddenly, a low hum filled the air. The lights in the supermarket flickered, and a strange, circular shadow appeared on the floor near us. Looking up, I saw a small, shimmering craft hovering just above the building. A beam of light shot down, enveloping both of us. She turned to me, her silvery eyes filled with gratitude. Then, to my astonishment, she spoke. Her voice was like a melody, and though the words were unfamiliar, I understood them as if they were imprinted directly onto my mind. "Thank you for your kindness." Before I could respond, the light around her intensified. I shielded my eyes, and when I looked again, she was gone. The hum ceased, and the craft disappeared into the night sky, leaving me standing alone in the frozen foods aisle, clutching an empty blanket. The entire experience felt surreal, like a dream. Yet when I looked at my hand, I saw a faint, glowing mark where she had touched me, a reminder of the otherworldly encounter. As I walked out of the supermarket that night, I couldn't help but wonder, who was she, and why was she here? One thing was certain. My ordinary evening had turned into an extraordinary memory, one that would stay with me forever.